Google is changing the game with what happens to your digital life when you die. Welcome to Digits. I'm Simon Constable. Jeff Fowler has this story, and he joins us now from San Francisco. Jeff, not something we like to talk about when you die and what happens to your digital life, but it's a big deal, right?
Right. Everybody's going to have to deal with it at some point. And we have a lot of traditions and laws that deal with what happens to your physical assets when you die, but the law really hasn't caught up with what happens to your digital assets, your Facebook account, your Gmail, all the stuff you store up in the cloud. Up until recently, pretty much every internet company has kind of dealt with this differently. Many of them say that you can't pass an account to someone else. You can't, your survivors can't access your data once you're gone, even if that's some of the most important treasured memories of the person who's passed away. But today, Google announced that they're trying a new solution in this. And for all of the users of Gmail and Google Plus and Picasa and YouTube, they have a new dashboard that allows you to go in before you pass away and determine what you want to happen to your data.
Okay, and give me some of the different things that you can choose.
So you can go in and select for either all or some of your data that it will either be deleted, or part of it will be deleted, or you can sort of determine who your digital heirs are going to be, call them your Google heirs. These are other people who you can say, all right, in the future give my data in my Gmail account to this friend or this spouse. And so it gives people a lot more options while they're alive to really have their wishes known.
Okay. Now, one of the things here is that this problem has been known for a while. Google does seem to be leading the way here. Why have internet companies been so slow to deal with this?
Because it's not really clear in the law in the US what is legal. There are a lot of privacy concerns. Privacy law in the US, ironically, while it's designed to protect the living, has also been used to protect the dead. And one of the questions that a lot of these services have faced is, well, what if the person who's passed away didn't want their data, their emails seen by a relative or a spouse after they're gone? And in many cases, there may be a good reason for that. But at the same time, the laws have made it really complicated for people to even leave in their will what they want to happen to their data or their accounts. So Google is sort of trying a new approach towards saying, like, well, let's ask people before they die.
Okay, and that seems to be completely legitimate. Do we know whether this will stand up in court or not, or has it just not been tested yet?
Not been tested. It's out today. We'll be watching closely, though.
We will be watching closely. Jeff, based on your experience covering the tech sector and talking to people, do you think other companies will follow this route, or will they wait and see if it's okay and then follow?
You know, Google has led the way in a lot of privacy offerings in particular. They have a dashboard that allows users to see all of their or much of the data that Google has stored and collected about them. So it's possible that Google will provide a new path forward here as well. And also that as lawmakers in a variety of states who are actively considering laws on this topic, that they may look at this and design their laws around it. So it's a really pretty cutting edge issue, but one that's already affecting millions of people.
Okay. It's always a pleasure. Thank you very much for joining us, Jeff Fowler.
You bet.
Thanks. That was Jeff Fowler. You can read more on that story on WSJ.com. I'm Simon Constable, and that was Digits.